Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. This week I'm going to be using the Wonderful World Bundle. It's one of the freebies that's in the Celebration catalog from just July and August. I had a request from Dana in Minnesota and she said that she had earned this and now she doesn't know what to do with it. I mean, it's pretty and it's just florals and pretty floral etch stamps that are rubber, and it's a nice little bundle. So July and August, Celebration, if you spend $50, you can choose from a lot of these items that are free with a $50 order. And then you keep going. I used those little cards, I think, last week. Free. You know what? I need to show you this paper because this looks terrible in the brochure, but it's so pretty in person. So it's 6x6, and it's white and silver paper with the lines, kind of the whimsical little lines, and then it's got the white and silver polka dots that are drawn, and then the same things in gold. So it's going to be really great for birthdays, anniversaries, New Year's, holidays. And it's got a nice shine on it, and it's blank on the other side, so I think that's a good freebie. All right, so that's a stamp set, some really cute dies. All right, this is the Wonderful World. This is free with a $100 purchase before tax and shipping, and it's 12 by 12 paper and the stamp set. So I'm going to teach you a fun fold, but also work with this bundle. So here is the stamp set, and then this is the paper. I cut it down. I was using the other half of it, so this is 6 by 12. It comes 12 by 12, of course. So it's really pretty floral on this side like they do, and the other side is good. So that's going to be, we're going to be doing a fold like this, so it works really well when you've got a print on one side and something a little more subtle on the back. And this one, which is really pretty, and the back. This one, you can fussy cut out a lot of these florals. And the back side. And then this one. This works too if you have a little punch or a die. You can actually isolate these out for some fun little projects. The other side, and this one, just a repetitive little floral print and little tulips. And then this one, which has a green background with the same floral and the yellow stripes. So the first one I used was my favorite, which was this one right here. And I'll be honest, I had some trouble with these colors because on the back of our papers, they always list all the colors. And if you look online too and you expand the description, it'll give you the colors. But these colors did not go for me. So if you look here at my colors, it called for Island Oasis, which is one of the new in colors. And this is really, to me, it does not match. It is so much brighter than this. If you are someone that keeps all the Stampin' Up in colors from before, I believe this would be maybe the Vintage Violet. That would look really pretty with this. We've had several purples that would look really nice with this one. And I tried Highland Heather. That one was way off. Gorgeous Grape. The Razzleberry, which is listed, is good, but it's a little dark, but that matches up decently. Freesia did not work. The greens in here were great, the pear and the mossy meadow. It also called for daffodil, and this was really more like a saffron or a vanilla, this little flower right here. So I had a tricky time with this one. And I also had a tricky time with this pattern, which I used on a different card I'll show you. Like this is Flirty Flamingo, and it called for Flirty Flamingo. And then it also called for Melamamba, which was way too strong for this one. So I ended up using Polished Pink. So I'll show you that. So you might have to play around with your colors a little bit if you do the stamping with it. So this was the first one that I did. It's just got a little belly band, and it just opens up like this. Very easy, especially when the paper's free. Let's use it. Let's use a lot of it. This is a half a sheet, but it's 5.5 inches. So you get 2 out of each sheet. But on here, I had a hard time with the stamping, so I fussy cut it out of the big piece. And you can see I really went to town. I just kind of go in and cut it out and then fussy cut that and made a little belly band. Okay, and I put the pear cardstock in the center, and that really gives it the stability here. So make a little belly band here. I'll show you this. We've done this fold for a while, but it works really well with papers that have a larger print on one side and the smaller print on the other side. Now this was my second version, so it's exactly the same card, but the orientation of the paper, I already had this piece cut this way, so I said, well, this one will go up and down, and the other one, which I had cut a different way, cut it this way, the pattern, I said, well, let's just do it this way. And I really like it. I like it horizontal. So I made a belly band, and because this slides off and on, I glued this flap down. Where this one is staying up, this one, I glued the flap down. And there I fussy cut that paper. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I had to fussy cut it, but it's so pretty. It's worth it for someone special. And this greeting set, I am loving. This is that Go-To Greetings. That was one of our $1 Million Achievers. She created this one. And if you see it in the catalog, you might miss it. But what she did when she designed it, it has just a note that's very big and fancy, like this one right here. So it's more elegant. And then a medium size in one font, and then the little teeny one in a casual font. Because how often do you get a greeting out and you think, oh, it doesn't fit, but I really need, you know, a birthday. So she's got the happy birthday in this font, and then the happy birthday in this font. So you have 3 different sizes for each of those. I think it's brilliant. I love it. That's with the purple papers, and now I'll show you how to do it with this one. So the orientation of your paper is really important, okay? Because obviously this one, if it's horizontal, is going to have to be this kind of a card, right? Because you can't have them really going sideways. That looks funny, right? So think about your paper, unless it's an all-over print. This one looks like that. Let's see. So this paper in this orientation is going to fold this way. So I'm going to be making this one vertically, like this. So my paper needs to go this way. Bring in something to score with. I'll show you on white paper first. When I did this, I do it on copy paper, and you can get away with using it on the 11-inch or the 12-inch or whatever you're going to use, but I find at 10.5, this is going to be 4 inches wide, and this is going to be 5.5 or 5.25, depending on how you want it. But it's worth it to go down to 4 inches wide once it's folded, because otherwise you're working in 16ths, and it drives me nuts. So I'm using easy measurements. You start with a piece of paper, whether it's cardstock or designer paper, whatever you want, and it's 5.5 inches tall this way and 10.5 inches long, right? And then you're going to put it in, you're going to score it at 1.25, 3.25, 7.25, and then 9.25. That gives you a 1.25 inch flap right here. So if you wanted to do this in a solid cardstock and just cut your strips of paper and glue them on, you can. So it works for cardstock or designer paper. So once you have that, then this folds in and this folds back. This folds in and this folds back. Okay, and that's your card. Either whichever way you want to go. Now there's a few different ways you can go for the stability. You should have cardstock somewhere. This one is 4 inches wide and 5.5 inches long. So it's only a little bit shorter at the top when you stick it in your regular envelope. But I have a piece of cardstock on the inside. If you want to, this can be cut down to 5.25, and you can glue it to the back of a piece of cardstock to have a layer around it. So that's your stability, and then you can decorate the inside any way you want. So it's just another option. I'm choosing to, this one's already scored, I am choosing for it to be 5.5 inches long, and I'm going to decorate the inside with the cardstock. So we're going to fold this back and fold it this way. Now this is if you want the pattern on the inside. So let's say you get it and you're like, I don't know if I like it that much. Well, then you can just flip it the other way. So you can do this. Okay, so it's not too late at this point if you decide, I'd rather have it this way. So, but I like it the other way. I like it this way. Now there might be just a little bit of, if you're off with your folding or something, just, you know, bring in your bone folder, your thumbnail, and just make sure that's nice and crisp. You don't want to overwork it like I just did, because you can get little tears on the side. So try not to go back and forth too much. Okay, the other reason I like this to be 5.5, even though this is 4, is that I think people might stand it up if they receive it. So that's it. This is really easy. Now we just decorate. Now for this inside piece, I just cut one of the little contour dies back here. I'm just gonna stick that in here. And this I stamped in the Flirty Flamingo. It's close, not perfect, but whoever gets it, they'll like it, so we're just gonna let it go. All right, that gives me a nice little room to write something. Now, if you wanna decorate the edges, to like add a little something something. I use this rose gold and gold paper. This is such, I love this paper because gold foil is wonderful, but it scratches, it dents, you get fingerprints on it. This doesn't. It's got a little bit of texture. It's not that expensive. It's in the annual catalog, and I use the gold mostly. I need to use the rose gold more, but I use the gold mostly. And like this belly band right here, I added just a little bit of this. I did a little punch right there. It's just a nice little extra something. So 2 pieces of that are 1/2 inch and a little bit of glue. And I'm gonna just add this at the very bottom of the edge. Just adding a little bit of this glue at the bottom. And I'm just gonna touch it right here. I don't want a lot of it showing. I just need a little bit, oops, just a little bitty edge showing. So I got a little time to let that liquid glue kind of slide around a little bit. There we go. So I'm gonna do each panel. It just adds just a little extra something. See, and you could also just do a decorative border punch. You could do some kind of pretty little lace paper, something like that, be very pretty. Now I chose in the contour dies this Pear Pizzazz. I cut this one out right here. And what's great about this one, it has these slits in it. So for our belly band, that will be easy to slide this through. Now, on a belly band this way, you can use your 3/4 inch by 11 inches, or even 8.5 would probably work. But on this long one, you're gonna need to go around and then create a little bridge. So you're gonna get it as far as it'll go. It'll probably meet right about here, and then you'll glue on a little piece. And it's gonna get covered up anyway, so it's okay. See, can you kind of see that? See how I have a little bridge stuck in there? So it's covered up, no one's gonna notice it, but it needs, if you have 12 by 12, it'll work fine on the long card. On this way, it'll work fine with 12 by 12, but 11 was just a wee bit too short. This one is gonna be more than enough. And I like to just give it a quick little score on each side just to help it along so it doesn't crimp up too much. See, that's more than we need right there. So we can trim that down a little. So I'm gonna trim it this way. Put that over here, and then trim it here. There. And glue those two together. Right there. 3/4 of an inch works fine unless you've got something really big. 1/2 inch would work. I was gonna slide this through, but it just moved around too much. But we are gonna put something through these little bottom edges. There's this really pretty ribbon that's in the holiday catalog. It's gorgeous. It's vanilla with gold. I love this ribbon so much. It's so delicate and it's so pretty that I have to think about what kind of cards I'm gonna make with vanilla paper just so I can use this ribbon. It's so pretty. So with these little guys back here, I'm just gonna slide this through the bottom and let it hang out right from here. A little finicky, we'll see if it's worth it. That'll look nice, and then I'll trim that up a little bit. All right, I ended up using a longer piece back here because I wanna make sure that this goes right in the center. So this is gonna go on the belly band right here. I'm gonna use the good strong glue right here for that. Let's trim these while I'm right here. So pretty. Just a little extra gold. All right, that goes right there. All right, now we need to decorate that front. So I thought about doing something like this right here using the stamp set. So this pretty rose. Like I said, I had a little bit of trouble with the colors, but I think this one came out good with the polished pink. I think it matches well with this. So this little piece will fit, and I've got some sponge daubers, and Pear Pizzazz is going to go on the leaves, and you can get right up to the leaves on that, right up to the flower. It works out good. And a little bit of the polished pink. A little bit, very light. You know, don't make it too dark. And I'm going to go a little lower on this one, right here. Ooh, pretty. Can you see all the etching on that? And it actually looks better if you sponge dauber it than it does if you just stamp it with regular ink, I think. I think it looks nice. Here, let me ink this up, the flower, just the flower so you can see. See how it's a little blobby? If you just ink it solid, look how much better it looks using the sponge dauber. Much better. You can see all the definition. And in that go-to greetings, there's a little bitty little hello. Hello, right there. I don't know, I kind of like something bigger there. Like, I think I like this one better. What do you think? Better? That Thinking of You is from a different stamp set. I'll list it in the recipe. But I wanted something a little bolder. Okay, and then we can scatter it with sequins and other things, but I like the little bit of gold here. There you go. We can do little gold butterflies, but it's a fun fold. It's been around for a long time. I have to look back and see what it's called. It's been so long. So I hope you give it a try, especially this one, the horizontal version. I think that might be my favorite. All right, we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.